the group keeps getting smaller. Getting closer to the door. Get out of here. Get out of here.
Not fair.
One of two things typically is a result of smaller groups. One, early in the year, everyone's still getting adjusted, or two, there's confidence in those that are making decisions, and I think there's a lot of confidence that our community has in you guys, as well as our school system. So we'll continue having these updates, if you will. Tonight, I'll let Charles and Pat and Rick and
Bless you.
yeah, give you an idea of what's to come. The bottom line, we're going to give you a quick update on some of the bigger projects, but also spend time on a lot of things that the bond committee talks about throughout the process, and that is a lot of just upgrades, renovations, things that don't get nearly the publicity of done. They don't rise to the top of everyone's interest list, but they're things that are critical to maintain our facilities. So if you recall, there's a lot of discussion about the bond funds for this, the general funds for this, the case for the district, especially we're trying to make the case that we had a plan, and following the plan on using general funds without having to use bond funds. So there'll be some conversation about that, but that's kind of what this evening is going to encompass. Hopefully we'll get you out of here now and you can watch the debate. That
no, don't say that. You got to be
There's a couple of debates going on, I think. All right, I'll turn it over to Charles. Thanks for being here. And we'll hopefully you'll get something out of this and we'll get your feedback on what your opinion is. Thanks for that.
All right, well, thanks for coming tonight. And the second half of your sandwich is in another box. You're going to have to get another box out there. So if you get hungry, it's your own fault. Go out there and get another one. I want to first show you that everything that we do, we put on the website. And we have been, and we updated it last time after our meeting. It's under, on the main page, this bond info tab. If you click on that, you come up with this page here. We have a presentation that was made to our board of trustees. You're going to see that again tonight. We also have down towards the bottom this bond review committee, and on there, this is all the handout packet from last time, and you'll see that packet show up again tomorrow for tonight's handouts that you're going to be looking at tonight. So if somebody didn't come, they can get to it immediately, and if the students want to report it, put it in their school newspaper, they can do that. Since last time we met, there's been a lot going on, and a lot of it hasn't been something that you can see. One thing that has changed since the last time that you can see is we had some signs placed at each of the site locations for the first 4 major projects. They're 4x8 size sign on the property, depicting a picture of the rendition of what the final project will look like, thanking the community, but also saying your bond dollars at work and the amount of the project and who the architect is. And that's it just got put up, I think, about a week ago. So there's some at the Alief Career Center site off of Richmond, one in Alley, and then each of the gymnasiums, and over at Kerr High School. So to help inform the community when they start seeing some activity, which won't happen next week, but you'll see in the schedule that it's coming faster than we think now. Our next meeting is going to be in April, so we'll have a little delay here where a lot of things are going to happen. And I want to kind of review the process of where we're at right now. Last time we talked, I just want to review the dollars. $341 million bond referendum. We have a scheduled sale for this first year, and it's $61.8 million. That's that first column for May 2016. That's a portion of funds for the Career Center. The very first round of purchasing buses, replacement school buses, the Fine Arts project in its entirety sold in this bond sale. First portion of the Alley Elementary edition and the first third of the gymnasiums in the second year. We've shown the dollar amounts for each one of the projects. So that first sale is $61.8 million. And I described last time where we are in the whole process of one of these projects being that we program the building, do a schematic design, get that approved, go through design development, take that for approval to the board, which has been done for all these projects now. We hadn't done that the last time for the career center, so we'll go a little more detail on the career center again this time. And construction documents are put together by the architects and engineers, and that's just, as you can imagine, it's the full detail schematics of everything, every wall, every ceiling, floor, pipe, wire, the dirt, slab, everything. And that's put out as a bid document. So you'll hear the terminology sometimes of request for a proposal, or competitive seal proposal. That's what we do at Alief for construction, is we put out a request for proposal to the construction companies. And so they all have a timeline that they have to turn it in by, and then they're evaluated and looked at, and we go with the best value from that criteria that's in there to judge the proposals that come in. The law allows us to do it different ways, but we found that this is the most efficient way as far as return for the dollar invested. It requires that you have very good bid documents, construction documents going out into the vendor's hands to bid, but that's why we have good architects to make sure that they're right. So that's where we're at right now. We're in the middle of construction documents. We're approaching the close of that document creation on a few projects, and they're going to start hitting the streets over the next few months and bidding. We're kind of at a unique time in the economy right now, so we're hoping we're going to start seeing some declines in prices because of the construction industry is starting to tail off with all the drop in oil price, and the construction projects that were started 2 or 3 years ago are now nearing completion or being complete. And so hopefully some commodities like concrete will come down in price as we start hitting the streets in April. Last time I also pointed out that last year, and I don't know why I wrote it, the value right there, that number, over the last 15 years, we tried to show the $100 bond referendum that we spent on capital projects. At the end of 15-16, the board approved a transfer of just over $9 million from the general fund to the capital projects fund. If you'll remember, during the bond steering committee, we had $133 million worth of other projects out there that were maintenance related, long-term facility maintenance like carpets, roofs, HVAC upgrades, things like that. And we ended up with, I believe it was $61 million in the final referendum, and knowing that we have to keep contributing to that as much as we can from the normal budget process. So we had allotted a little over $8 million for those projects for this current year, so that we didn't have to have a bond sale for those maintenance projects this very first year out, so we could allocate the most bond sale dollars towards these new projects like the career center and so forth, and get farther along with these new projects. So Jeff Delisle, our Director of Maintenance Facilities, is going to give a run through of the projects that he has allotted. Even though they're not bond funds, they are Alief taxpayer dollars going towards the same thing. And so since we've supplemented what we're spending on facility maintenance, we thought it proper to go through what those projects are with you guys, because you may get questions on it. And I don't remember that being on the bond referendum. Well, these projects weren't in the bond referendum because we tried to cover that from general fund dollars. So, and then just to remind you, we have a $61.8 million bond sale this first year. This will be in May. The market's looking pretty good right now for that. We also may incorporate a refunding or a refinance, if you will, on a couple series of bonds at the same time. But the way the market's going, it will be favorable to sell in May, no problem. And April 28th, that They presented the schematic design. And the schematic design is kind of a preliminary design, but that being the biggest project, there's been a lot of discussion, a lot of different people meeting about their areas and their portion of the building, the departments that will run those areas, like whether it's vet tech or automotive or the IT. So each one of those labs, if you remember, the idea was to make sure that those areas were going to be cross-functional and could be changed into something else as we go down through the years. We found out that that was no longer a real job market. I mean, we needed to change the building out. So we've tried to keep flexibility going as well as a unique face and identifier for that particular pathway in the building. And I think that they really did a great job. They've got a little video. I don't think you guys saw this video the last time, so it'll be good to see that.
Thanks for having us. We have been hard at work since we last saw you. I believe the last time we saw you was about 2 weeks before we were going to the board to talk about design development. So we had finished our schematic design phase and we were moving forward, so a lot had changed. So kind of just a quick timeline of where we've been. Since we last saw you, we presented our design development plan to the board and it was approved for us to proceed. We have been busy, as Ronald mentioned. We issued a 25% set, kind of a good milestone marker of construction documents. We just recently issued our 50% set of construction documents and specifications, meaning drawings, but it's actually getting into the cut sheets of what we're actually going to be putting, what type of mechanical units, what type of flooring, and getting into the real specifics. And then over the past 2 weeks, we've had a lot of comprehensive departmental meetings. And so this is kind of a quick snapshot of some of our crew. So what these meetings entail is getting department user groups into our meeting. So we not only have the architects, we have our mechanical, electrical, and plumbing engineers. We've had really comprehensive discussions about technology. Some kind of general discussions, what kind of technology we want in the core classrooms, but also we have very specialized labs. So in the welding lab, what type of gas are we going to have? In the automotive, exactly how are we going to have exhaust? And so getting into the really specific questions to make sure everything is coordinated and we're meeting the needs of the campus. So this has also included some specific teachers. I know that Bill Marshall and Kimberly Crow have done a really great job of also going back to the home campuses that do have the programs and talking to them and getting their insight. And so that's been kind of what we've been really busy with. We had some meetings today talking about sites and transportation. So let's kind of go forward and talk about sites. I believe the last time we saw you, the site plan was similar, but one big change that we've made since there is that you'll notice the detention pond has moved over off Westminster Plaza Drive, and it's a quite deep detention pond, but we've tried to keep it kind of as a small footprint as possible so that we're utilizing as much of the site as we can. So if you'll remember from last time, we have kind of our front main entry here off of Richmond, and so this is the kind of front iconic entry that I'll show you some images of here to come, that will be the main entry for the campus. We also have the student entry here from the north side, which is where we have kind of our bus area. So we know that bus transportation will be really important to this campus. A lot of students are going to be coming from their home campus here. And so we wanted to make sure we have enough space. So right now we're showing allocation for 30 buses. We have student parking and staff parking here off of West Houston Center Boulevard. We're going to have a new median cut here that the city has allowed. And then for our parent drop-off, while we don't see that we're going to anticipate a lot of parents dropping off their kids, we do have adequate space here as well as visitor parking off of the front. So that's kind of the general. The building is split, as we talked last time, into kind of a more service-oriented area and then a more kind of technical side. And so the service yard serves those big shops, automotive, welding, construction. And so this service yard will be kind of catered to them. And then one big question we had asked, I've heard a lot of, I guess, inquiries on, is about future expansion. So what we're showing here is that just here to the north of our culinary arts area, if we ever did want to expand the campus, whether it be core curriculum or a new program, we do have some room for expansion. So this is our plan. I won't go through all it hasn't changed dramatically since the last. We still have our kind of core curriculum all around this central plaza. So the plaza continues to be kind of more, I guess, articulated. We have one of the important things and concepts that we've kept in mind is the visibility into each of the programs, so that students have kind of exposure to other programs besides their own. Even though they might be coming for construction, they might be walking past welding, they might actually use the welding lab. So it's kind of encouraging that interaction and collaboration. And we hope that a lot of that takes place in this central plaza. And then this is the second floor. Again, kind of the importance of visibility. And as I go through and show you some images, it'll kind of bring everything to life. But the second floor, we have just the science, health science, digital design. We have architecture over here, actually looking down into some of the construction labs. So kind of real life. So this is an image, and if you're standing, let me go back 2 slides. Standing right here, once you kind of come in the main entry, right outside of our vet tech area. So we have our interactive observation lab here to the right. That is kind of a display space as well as a classroom for curriculum that has the opportunity for students to stand above and see either a medical procedure that's happening below, or an interesting thing is being built on a vehicle. They have that opportunity to interact as well as observe heavy in technology in that area. And then you can kind of start to see the real strong signage and presence of each one of the programs throughout. So it's kind of creating an identity and kind of image through graphics in our central plaza. This is another view further down. So previously we were standing up here, so now we've come further down and we're looking back at the lab, so it shows IT, entrepreneurship, some of the different programs, and it starts to show also the flexibility of furniture and the types of furniture we see going into the plaza. So kind of similar to an airport feel, where you can have individual stations or you can pull some chairs together and collaborate as a group. This is on the second floor, looking as if you were going to walk into this collaborative area to look down into our observation lab and showing them the structure and kind of what we're seeing is what's happening in the building. This is an aerial from the outside, the exterior. As we said, on the west side, we're envisioning tilt wall panel, and then metal panel here on the east with masonry below. So we really want the materials to also reflect the programs that are happening inside the building. So there's another view, and I think we have even one more up close. You might have seen this. One of the things we're looking into is how we, I guess, our path for signage and representation of the campus. And so one thing that has been popular is possibly having the big Alief A on the front glass. And so really at night and during the day, it's kind of iconic for the campus. This would be the back student entry. So automotive is here to your right. And this would be where buses are parked out here, and this would be the main student entry. And everything, if you'll notice, is kind of connected with this glass spine, letting lots of natural light. Even in the lab, we wanted to make sure that we always have natural light into our environment. And then this is a video that we presented for design development. There you go. It will.
There's a lot to see out there. Real is whatever you can create. continuous, and holistic. The Career Center will attract, develop, and prepare students for diverse careers that reflect current and future industry needs.
We're really excited. We're really excited about the direction of the project, and we'll be excited in April to show you where we are. By April, we'll hopefully have turned in a set for permitting, and we'll be nearing the completion of our construction documents. So we'll be excited to see you. Thank you.
Video, it'll be hard. It's nice.
The first time, but been almost a mainstay here in the district. This project started being the project leader, so if there's a design element anywhere in this that has a question about, she has the answer on the tip of her tongue, I'm sure. So stop her and ask her if you want to afterwards, or if you think of something later, shoot the question to us and we can get it to them. When the bid documents go out, of course, it's sort of a hands-off period where the vendors are coming up with their pricing and they have a timeline to turn it in. But this is a public bid that we hope to get a lot of responses on based on the market. So it's what we think is going to be a very eye-catching location, along with right there by the West Houston Hospital and the corridor of restaurants and hotel along Westheimer. So the buzz is abound. We've already talked to our driving range, great tenant there, and he's making arrangements to pull out in May so we can start site prep work and so forth. So it's moving. So now I want to turn it over to
Charles, never asked me any questions. Any questions or comments on what you just seen?
I do have a small question. You talked about the A on the front of the building. Is that going to be etched into the building, or is that going to be like a light? The only reason that I ask is because when I drive past the stadium during the evening hours or the night, and that green A is lit up, it looks beautiful to me. And I think that bring a lot of awe to people's eyes to see that lit up like that,
That's a
so.
good question. As of right now, what we talked about is actually it being like a vinyl decal, so that when there's some light in the building at night, you can still see it. But that if for whatever reason someday Alief ever decided to change their logo,
Right.
that we wouldn't be stuck with an old logo permanently etched on our building.
Got you.
So right now, what we've talked about is vinyl decal on the glass.
Okay.
But we haven't talked about necessarily illumination because it's all on that glass and on that curtain wall.
Is it a way to get it projected from like a light onto maybe the side of the building?
Possibly, and that will be our only signage.
Okay.
We're also going to have the name of the school
And a marquee.
And a marquee out, yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But that's a good point.
All right.
You're right, it does.
Thank you.
That's what we say about the stadium, so.
Projected completion and students in the center.
Good question. Projected completion, I believe what it said was February of, 2018? And so that gives some time to move in, lots of kind of new spaces, new equipment, so opening in fall of 18.
That also may bode well for during the bidding process, that if we see pricing, we still have a little time pad there. Because we don't necessarily occupy the building fully in February. We'd be preparing for the following year, but we could start holding some classes in that building in February, so. Yes.
The last time we were here, we talked about expansion of the building. And you, I think somebody pointed out that as you're constructing, if you construct with expansion upwards in mind, it's a lot cheaper to do it on the front end.
Right.
So is that being considered?
We looked into expansion up. We found that it was difficult because of our footprint and, on the lab side, for example, on the west side, we have a lot of huge labs that require the volume. And so and the construction, it's tilt wall, so it's not really easily expanded vertically. We looked on the other side, but then there become a lot of code implications going from a second story to a third story. So one of the reasons we finally decided on really the best expansion was just to the north of that culinary arts, was it'd be an easy integration into our floor plan, and that central kind of plaza you saw in the commons area, you could extend that to the north. You already have kind of your building block of the automotive to the west. It would just be a continuation of that space, and then you could add an additional stairwell, and it would seamlessly fit into the campus without any other repercussions. We started getting into a lot of code issues and adding additional stairwells and having to tie a third floor in, and so it started to become, I think, cost prohibitive that you wouldn't want to do it. So we haven't oversized the structure anywhere to allow for that.
So what is, how many years out would you need capacity before you would think about it?
That's a really good question. So I don't know how many years out, but in our design of the building, we have currently designed it so that there's, for example, I keep using automotive, but there are 4 automotive class rooms that serve the lab. And so the way that we, I think Bill and his team have started the kind of process is there will either be students in the classroom or in the lab. So for future expansion, you could potentially have classes held in both areas. And so we're permitting it that way so that potentially, and then they can switch spaces so you're doubling the capacity of the campus. So our initial, opening capacity is about 800 kids every class period. So there's going to be 3 class periods a day. But that could potentially double if you maximize that load.
And there'll still be similar classes available back at the home campus too, because there'll be some classes, those early introductory classes that won't necessarily be over at the Career Center. They can handle that at the main campus too. So
I think the growth, we need to kind of be aware that as a school district, we're not going to
classrooms a little differently, and lab space maybe a little differently. When it comes to what you're asking about, Barbara, when do you add on? When do you add on? I don't really think any of us can predict what year or what time frame, but I think it would be that everyone decide that every program we're offering in this facility is at pretty much full capacity, and there's new programs we want to offer that they're currently. And, or, like Charles said, if we can't house it on the campus, a traditional campus, then we have to add on. I think it'll be driven as much by the programs we're offering as it will be by the number of students who are participating.
Well, I was thinking about when we first met, about how many kids are on the waiting list, so that's why I was thinking of, are we going to be filled up the first
Bill,
time?
correct me if I'm wrong, I think we've got capacity to address the general issue of demand. I think demand is going to grow once we get into it.
Right, we're planning for the absorption of all waiting lists, plus some during the initial year, and then as programs grow or develop, that will be more. And that's why our capacity has the capacity to develop. So it will take some time to get there, but we've built that in. We also have the capacity for breadth, should we want to add additional programs. We've built in space so we can do that and grow those programs as well.
So, just real quick, are you starting to hear a little bit of buzz? Anybody seen the signs that are going up, or is it starting, the chatter starting to talk? I'll tell you that just this week we had a Texas Association of School Administrators, and Mr. Chambers presented along with Zach Hodges from ACC and the CEO of West Houston Hospital, Todd Kaliba, and they're excited. I mean, they are just really fired up about it. So everybody from the business sector and higher ed wanting to get together and make this a seamless transition all the way for all these different careers. So the buzz is going to keep going. So if anybody has any questions, just point them to that bond info tab, and they can drill down and get all that info. And it's you guys' brainchild that's bringing this to fruition. So I want you to have the info that we have as we get it. So now we're going to go into Pat and Granda's brief discussion of the 4 big projects, where we're at with those. Jeff's going to talk about that capital improvements money
The projects I'm going to cover are funded by $119,840,000. And it covers the Career Center, Kerr Fine Arts Edition, Alley Edition, and the 6 middle school editions. What I want you to know about the update, Charles kind of covered it, but the key things in here are the construction contract award June 21st, 2016 for the Career Center. That will start the construction of the project on the Kerr Fine Arts Edition. That will contract award will be July 19th, 2016. The Outlet Gym and Classroom Editions, the HKS is doing April 19th, 2016. The gym editions that Stantec is doing for AMS, Holly, and Hollow, that will be awarded April 19th of this year. And Huckabee Architects are doing Albright, Killow, O'Donnell, and the gym editions. And that will award April 19th also. So you can see all these projects are pretty. So the first one I'm going to cover will be Kerr Fine Arts Edition, which IBI is doing. This is the site plan, and this drive exists right now. That's the bus loop that goes around here. And the addition is going kind of in the middle where the parking lot is. So we're going to reroute that loop to go around and over. And the parking that's displaced by this is going to go in that area. And we're relocating the tennis court that was here over there. This is the floor plan. This is a 450-seat auditorium. And the addition is about 33,000 square feet. And the addition starts right here. Those are the doors that come out of the existing building right here. So we're repurposing this area right in here because you've got band, orchestra, art, fire. So all this is going to work together, and that is the entrance. We're currently working with architects. This is drawn as brick. We did that initially because we didn't think tilt wall panels, which is what the main building is, could be done that tall when you get into the high area where the theater is. So, but we've recently found out that you can do it in tilt wall, so that's probably going to be the route we go. They're also working on kind of redesigning this kind of metal screen right here and the signage on the building. So it's still in flux, but that's just kind of what's going on right now. Schedule, I guess the blue bar right here is the one I wanted to point out, and that basically shows the construction time frame from September 2016 to May 2017. Now I'm going to cover the HKS addition and outlet. That is the site plan. The building ends like right here. So this is the addition, and this is the gym portion of it, and the rest are classrooms. And also what we're doing is stack space for the school of pickup right here. It goes all the way down the street almost, I don't know, to the next street down here. And what we're doing is we're going to take the existing drive that exits right here at the moment, and we're going to delete that part and extend that drive on down so that we can add more stack space in here to take some of that traffic off the street. So we've got 11 classrooms in here. In addition, we're going to drop down the fire division right here to where they'll be on a fusible link or on a link to the fire alarm system, so that if you have something going on in the gym at night, you can just secure this with that door going down at that point and at this point somewhere along the hallway to where they can come in, have the event, use the restroom if they need to, and then they can't get into that part of the building or that part. So it keeps it all relative to the event in that one area. We're also, as part of the alley job, taking the existing cafeteria, which is this part right here. Actually, the cafeteria is right here with a divider wall in between. That divider wall, this part was the gym. We're going to repurpose that part of the gym to become another part of the cafeteria. And we're going to add additional storage in 3 different locations, extend this storage for chair storage, so this becomes one big cafeteria area. And we're going to put a conference room right off the cafeteria at this point. So they're getting a new conference area, more storage, and we're going to repurpose another classroom further in the building. So they're going to get basically 12 more classrooms in this project. That is kind of shadow fire view of the addition. And all over the part right here is the addition. And that's the gym. This is the shadow fire from the south side. This is the existing bus loop parking lot, faculty parking lot, and that will be the entrance there. This part has already been covered as far as the schedule goes. We've already heard all that. Now I'm going to go into Huckabee's. Huckabee Architects is doing the 3 gym additions. The first one on here is Albright. As you can see, the addition is going, this is the main building, and this is their bus loop. And this is basically what I'd call the southeast corner of the building, where Main Street comes out of the building at this point. And brown is the existing building, and Main Street is right here. So where it exits right now, and this was an addition we put on in 2006, somewhere in that range. We're going to tie this addition onto that. It's going to have restrooms, MDF room, electrical room, and because you have to elevate this addition because of the floodplain. We have to have steps up into this area with a ramp, so this will be a raised area.
Is that back where the volleyball court is, right? Back where the volleyball court is? No, the volleyball court? Yeah, that's what I'm assuming.
Yeah, actually, we're gonna have to relocate one of those tennis courts. Yeah. The tennis courts are right here, and one of them is in this area, so we're gonna take the existing tennis court, one of them, and relocate them over here. That one that's furthest north will stay where it is.
Well, why is it in the window? Why is it window?
It's a gym.
Yeah, it's a gym, and all of our gyms, none of our gyms have windows. And it's just,
Number one, it's a cost factor. Number two, it doesn't serve a purpose. In fact, it creates problems with gym sports. Rather than have the light in there, because you have to diffuse it. You can't have it directly on the floor.
And also, when you do PowerPoints and things, and they'll have screens in there where they can do, presentations and things like that. You need a dark in there, and windows kind of creates an issue with that. So, this is the Kilo edition, and this is the west elevation of the building. Right now, when you go to the athletic event, the gym, you park in this parking lot, come down this walkway, and come in the building at that point right there. So this gym is being added right off of that walkway, and this is going to be a covered walkway that ties into this one. So that you're basically going to one gym en route to another gym if you want to go to the other gym also. And this same thing, it's got restrooms, MDF room, storage. And that's the west elevation of the gym addition, which that would be the gym addition. This is O'Donnell, and at O'Donnell you have the floating vault, which is a vault that runs basically where this point is going, right down here. And when O'Donnell was built, this area right here is where the gym was supposed to go, and they found out that fault was there, so they had to during construction turn that and vacate that area. That's where the fault runs. So when we put this addition on, it's going to go at this location right here, so the fault line is in between it. So it's connected by a covered connection. I don't think anybody wants to really do that fault. It would cause all kinds of foundation issues. The addition, that's the walkway, covered walkway, just like the other ones. We try to make all these additions the same. We've got two different architects doing 3 different pieces, but we're all having design meetings where they're all the same one. So if anything changes on one, we're going to change it on the other one, just so everything has parity. And that would be the gym addition up there, canopy, the main building. And this is the construction time frame for that. And since that's going to be 3 gyms that they're doing, and the first one that will be finished will be Albright, and that's construction time is May to December 2016. Pillow and O'Donnell will follow, and they'll both be done at the same time between December 2016 and July 2017. This is Stan Texas 3 gyms, the AMS, Olive, and it's AMS. And with AMS, the existing gym is right here. And we're putting an elevator in here that will connect the locker rooms upstairs to this gym addition. And it's got restrooms, the same thing, and it's got a bit more storage over here. This is the second floor, so the elevator that comes up here will tie into the boys' locker room and further into the girls' locker room. So it's connected for any handicap issues that come up. That would be what the gym addition looks like. tied right into the back of the existing gym. This is Holloman School, their gym addition. This is on the east end of the building, and you can see Main Street is right here, so we did I think a 12 classroom addition onto that back in 2006. This addition also has that step up in it because it's elevated. And all these have maple wood floors, and they have telescoping bleachers in them. And they'll have like a porcelain tile flooring in that area. And that is what that addition looks like. And entrance, the faculty parking lot is over here with West Loop, and just the natural entrance into that. And it will also be secured with fire doors that will come down. Alief School addition, which is the last one. It is the same thing. This is on the what I call southwest corner of the building. And it's called a weight room, but basically we're putting weight equipment in another room over here. We're going to relocate that weight room equipment into this room, turn that room into an ensemble room, which is also in the monitoring room. And connect a walkway right here to the existing gym. And that is what that looks like.
Is Alief middle school with a weight room? I didn't hear him talking about no weight room.
And the time frame for those projects are construction will start at AMS first from June 2016 to January 2017. And Holly will follow suit from January to August 2017.
Is Ollie the only middle school with a weight room? I didn't see any weight rooms in the other middle school.
David, it's not a weight room, it's more of that exercise room that they use for PE, and they just sort of added some extra weights in there. But there's no athletic period in middle school, so you really...
Okay, I was jealous. I was like, wait a minute.
It's just a area.
Gotcha.
We were there, and the girls were coming in to do the workouts and stuff, and it was a PE class, so that's all, this is just an extra room.
Okay.
We got a lot of treadmills and things like that, fitness type things, so
Okay.
it's not really a weight room.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you.
So, just as Jeff gets started, just real quickly, you'll notice on there, those are just renditions, if you will, not animated like the PBK video was. What we had in the past is a very good matching of existing brick and the color and the age, so that it doesn't stand out like a sore thumb on the side of the building. So I think that you should be pleased with the design. We're trying to match it aesthetically to the construction of the original building was in, so it doesn't look like a nice shiny box on the outside of an old school, because they, but along those lines that were passed out by parity, one thing we want to do is make sure that everybody has the same thing, so that nobody has an advantage over another school. There's parity there, but the one difference being, if you remember, on Alief Middle School is that originally it was a high school. That's why they have the locker rooms upstairs.
I was wondering.
Before there was any code regulations for that kind of thing, so that's why we have to, we either have to put in elevators to assist the handicap to get to the second floor, or we were going to have to destroy that space and build new locker rooms in addition to the gym. So we opted for the elevator. So plus it's a little more complex, so we're starting with that school.
Okay, well, we've seen a lot of exciting images tonight, new buildings, new additions, and whether it's a brand new TV or a brand new car or a brand new building, all those things are exciting. But we all know as soon as you buy that car or you build a new building, it starts getting older and on the day one. So the other part of this project is, what we're talking about tonight, is the fact that we have to maintain the building, whether they're 10 years old or all the way to 50 years old. We maintain, keep them going. General fund transfer of $8.5 million for this year, and then starting next year, we'll be having bond funds that do go toward these types of projects, and they vary from about we're going to look at what we're doing this year. So much of what we do, as opposed to these long schedules in these new buildings, we do a lot of work in the 10 weeks we have in summertime. So almost all these projects will start and end this summer. Okay, so every year, the past year, we've been doing an HVAC renovation. This is basically the mechanical air conditioning heating systems within buildings. Martin is one of the oldest schools in the district, and a lot of its equipment is original. There's some that's not quite as old, but it's all rich and it's in the serviceable life. So we will be doing replacing air handling units, chillers, cooling tower, ductwork, piping, and all that involves removing the ceilings in the building and putting those back in. So a lot of work goes into these projects. These contractors typically work 7 days a week, about 12, 14 hours a day with a couple of different shifts in order to get these done in that time period. So Martin will be our big project for the summer. We've also scheduled a chiller replacement at Kerr. However, with the new addition that's going in there, we've actually taken those monies and going over to the new construction side, and they're going to be combining the new work and the air conditioning for that new building with refurbishment of the existing central plant. So, as you may know, with this addition will be a three-phase project: original building, first edition, second edition. And as opposed to having three separate air conditioning units, we're going to combine those all into one central plant and make service and all that more efficient for us and more effective. So that's what we're doing there. I've got Kilo on here. Kilo's got some work that's scheduled in 2017 as well as 2018 on the air conditioning side. We are currently looking at that, to look at the feasibility of possibly moving that forward to this summer. We do this every year. We evaluate our needs because surprisingly things can change fast on the end of the year's time. So we will be going through an investigation of that, and we may or may not be doing work at Kilo this year. We may go ahead and let that work occur in 17, but I wanted to at least mention it in case we do move forward with that. At Kerr, again, this is, as I discussed, those are the original cooling towers and the original water-cooled chillers, so all that equipment will be being replaced there, combined with the enlarged and upgraded to handle the new addition. These are equipment at Kilo we may or may not do this year, may wait till next year. Every year we pretty much do roofs, so this year we've got 3 roofs scheduled, as well as some flashing details and some areas that have started looking at those buildings. So together, Bush, Hicks, and Youngblood, and those jobs are all about $800,000, $900,000 each per roof, so we're at $2.62 million. Every one of these roofs has got a 15-year warranty. We all know that 15-year warranty, they pretty much expect to be able to 15 years in 1 month. So we're 19 years old, so we're starting to have significant roof leaks, and my people are up there. As you can see on the right, as the material starts breaking down to the rubber roofs, we go up there to fix the roof, and walking across the roof oftentimes creates a new leak. So we're quite anxious to get these roofs taken care of this summer. They're all just pretty old, 20 years and 20 years. So we've gotten 5 years past our expected life on them. These are some skylights we haven't heard that have deteriorated. The company that actually produced and made these skylights, they're not that old. They're not near original to the building, but the company had a product that didn't turn out to be quite as good as they thought it was going to be. And
Right.
in fact, the company went out of business because of the failure of their product. So we're going to be replacing those this summer. Cosmetically, we always do a lot of flooring updates. This year we've got gym floors and 3 big carpeting projects. Those are all totaling about $750 million. This is the original gym floor in Cat 3 floor bed. It's 25 years old. You can see it's starting to have some bubbles in it. And typically these are not as much cosmetic as they become safety issues. The floor starts to delaminate, you get bubbles in it, and create stripping hazards. So we'll be taking care of that. Same thing with Landis. You can see the little bubble over there on the left that's come up there. This floor is 20 years old. And Smith is also 20 years old. So 20 to 25 years is about what we get out of our flooring materials. We take care of them and try to extend the life as long as we can. This is the carpet from Donald. That's the original carpet. It's 23 years old. And I actually picked a picture that didn't look too bad there, but a lot of the carpet is looking pretty warm in the building. Same thing with Best. Best is 25 years old and has really done well. It was scheduled for recarpeting about 3 years ago, and we said, well, it's looking pretty good. Let's see if we can go another year. So we've done that for 2 years now, but we think it's time to go ahead and let them have some new stuff. And Alief, again, Alief might make it another year or two, but with the new addition, we thought it was an appropriate time to go ahead and replace the carpet in the entire building so that the carpeting flows seamlessly with the new addition, and so it all has the same unified look in it.
Yeah, that's the kind of cover you need to put in your house right there. 25 years.
And then the car too.
Well, they may not clean their carpet quite as good. I know, I don't wash, I don't shampoo mine that much. Again, also our final project here is about $1 million worth of track repairs and resurfacing at yellow wells. These tracks always, they're like any asphalt product, they deteriorate over time. But with our drought we had a few years ago and our expansive soil here in Houston, it really took a toll on these and created some safety issues. You can see how the curbs drop there and the asphalt crack apart. Especially here at Celtic Annex, this is going to be resurfacing, and get on the left, you can see where the drought caused a lot of that asphalt to fail, and the grass is starting to take over the edges. And again, here at the Annex, from the drought situation, you can see that big dip in that lane there to the left. So we will we'll be pulling out all the asphalt that has failed there. We'll be doing some stabilization techniques to try to avoid these problems in the future. We're going to take our soil and put in some better, less expensive soils further out away from the track and re-asphalt that and any questions? Yes,
I have a question about the HVAC. At our building at Mahaney, they talk about how the heat does not come on until they mention 50 degrees. But the air is constantly, I'm told that it's recycling air from outside into the building. Well, it's cold outside, so it's bringing in cold air, so we're freezing all day. What is the truth behind the air system? When does it actually, the heat actually come in?
well, the heat should be coming on if your needs in your room. If you're below 68 degrees, then our district standard in the wintertime is a low of 68. So if you're below that, the heat should be coming on. If it's not coming on, certainly contact the campus secretary and stuff, and he'll call us. Now, we did have a few when we, winter is a tough time in Houston. We're also used to summer around here. That by the time we get all the bugs worked out of things for winter's over with.
Right.
So every year we sort of go through this problem. Winter gets here, and we've got a brand new HVAC system there. Well, that system was put in this summer. Can't very well test that and do a lot of calculations and final balancing on that system when it's 95 degrees in summertime. So they really have to wait till winter gets here before they can go in and say, okay, this wasn't working exactly right. We need to balance it out. We need a little more airflow. We need a little more hot water flow. And so the issue there probably with the lockout on the borders, which is a setting that you can set properly this past summer. Certainly, if you continue to have problems, don't hesitate to.
Does the fluctuation in the weather have something to do with it as well? Because, well, I mean, one day it's 75 degrees, next day it's 43 degrees, so...
It certainly does for, right off the bat, for the first few days until things get settled down a little bit, if we work with the heat out of the system.
Oh, right off the bat, now, it was freezing in there today. Hey, look.
All three of those projects, the contractor is still involved, he's still, anytime we get a complaint from any one of the three schools that were done this summer, they're out there, they're trying to address things, like that we discussed, buying a new car or anything else. You may have a few items that don't work exactly right. We've got some warranty issues already, so they've got to come in and replace some equipment that failed prematurely and things like that. So those are ongoing, but I anticipate certainly we'll get that worked out pretty soon.
Okay.
Before winter leaves us again.
Well, I hope so. I had a jacket on all day. It trench coated that.
The 68 degrees it's a cool temperature. I come in my office in the morning at 68. I keep my coat on a lot during the day, so I understand how you feel.
Yeah, maybe if you get, just tell it, like Jeff said, ask the secretary, and then the secretary will ask or tell the custodian, they all carry a thermometer. And we want to know and see, because sometimes, everybody's Right, temperature.
Everybody in the whole building.
But that's what I'm saying. If we find out that it's 50 degrees, and I get calls too, or 55 degrees, well, that's unacceptable. We need somebody willing to go check it out. So,
Okay.
you know, but sometimes, well, it's too cold, and it's, you know.
Right,
75
70,
degrees.
right.
If it's in the range, you know, if it's in the range, we're gonna.
Oh no, if it was 70 something, I'd have been okay.
I know you wouldn't complain.
Pardon the interruption, I just want to second that emotion. Can we just call you direct?
My phone number is in the directory.
You sure right.
So is there any truth?
It's not everybody's number, but yes, you can call me anytime. I got no
Because
problem.
our office was literally 50 degrees, and we were told that whoever was over it was out doing whatever, and we had to put in a work order. But, I mean, all jokes aside, our office was literally 50 degrees, and a parent came in and complained that it was just way too cold.
Yeah.
And we did call.
Well, again, Ms. Brown, if it is, you know, because sometimes they're not, they don't tell the truth sometimes, okay?
Right.
But if it is on thermometer, if it's within the range, we'll, you know, we'll leave it as it is. If it's not, absolutely not. At 50, 45, no, it's not acceptable. So we'll take care of it for you. So yes, you can. The other thing about Jeff's projects, you got to remember, all those projects you just saw, HVAC, the carpet, the roofs, the tracks, all those things have to be done in 2.5 months. So you all think about that. We're trying to, here it is, August. You say, well, you got 3 months, 4 months. No, teachers come in already August, early July for the principals come in. So it's we're pushing and pulling on the summertime. So hats off, but everything's got to come together just at the right time. So hats off to them.
Also, along with that, at the same time, you know, just say to hats off to these guys, Jeff and Pat. I think this is probably one of the most busiest years we've had on new construction, even through the last previous 2 bond referendums during our heavy road periods. As far as number of projects simultaneously being designed and bid, and then throw on top of that almost $10 million worth of maintenance projects that are between now and the summer will be bid. They're going through the construction document phase on each one of those projects too, because those go out to bid at the same time. So Alief ISD is hitting the streets with a lot of work in the next 3 to 4 months. And so we're hoping that this is a good time, but whether it is or it isn't, we've got to proceed. So we're committed to doing what we said in the bond referendum and keeping the tax increases to what we said they were going to be regardless. If that means that we have to slow it down in years 2 through 6, then we do. Hopefully, it'll be a favorable market and we'll be able to proceed as scheduled. And so we want to keep you up to date. If something like that changes along the way, we definitely, you guys will hear it first. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
Population in the oil market affect this project anyway because it's been very unusual.
So we hope it will. There's a lot of projects in the Houston area that have started several years ago coming to completion. So the market should be favorable for a decline in price for commodity items like steel and concrete. The labor market also should be favorable to stop or curb that inflation that we were seeing for the last 24 months. And we put in kind of mid-range estimates on inflation. We weren't on the high side, which is what everybody, the sky is falling, you know, it's 12% or 3% a month or whatever. We didn't go that high. So I think our estimates are very good. And one thing that we are going to have a tough time, everybody's going to have a tough time with is the state right now is forecasting declining revenue. And so the next biennium for funding for school districts is not that great outlook. So we have to keep our eye on that ball too, as to the whole state's going to be feeling the suffering of that oil crunch in all kinds of sales, retail sales. So hopefully that will bode well for us on selling bonds and construction. So it may end up being a good time to build these buildings.
I have a question. Did you read the construction contract award process?
architect and engineer helped put together the documents for bidding. And let's just call it a specification, and it says, Alief ISD wants to build a career center, and here's what it consists of, and it's, like you said, schedule of materials and all the drawings and the measurements and everything, and they give it electronically and on the blueprints. And the specifications are volumes deep of the type of copper wire they'll have for electrical and so forth. The contractors get it. We open the bids, we advertise it, it's put in the Chronicle, it's on our website, we tweet it out, we send it to all the vendors we know that have ever registered. There are construction companies. They have a certain set amount of time, and it's usually, it could be 4 to 8 weeks long to generate a bid. They turn in a sealed proposal to the purchasing department here, and when the time expires, they're all opened, and if anybody comes in after that time, and there's one clock in purchasing that has the time stamp, and if you don't, it's off the Greenwich Mean Time atomic clock, if you don't make it in by that time, you walk in 3 seconds late, so sad. And they open the bids and read them aloud, and then proceed to evaluate the proposals. And they do that with the architect and engineer who created the specifications also, and then a committee from maintenance construction. And they decide, okay, this is the best value based on the matrix that was in the bid document. So they get so many points for having good references, and so many points for coming in within budget on projects, and so many points for no change orders, and things like that. So they'll come up with the one that's recommended out of all the bidders, take it to the board at the next board meeting with a tally of all the pricing and all the scores that they were given through that evaluation process. And once the board says, yep, okay, we'll accept your recommended vendor for this construction contract, it's awarded. In other words, they've made their offer, we've accepted, so that's a contract. And they sign an actual construction contract and begin work, and they can start the billing process and the meetings and so forth. And that can go on, as Jeff said, for several years after a project is actually finished. It's not 100% complete because there's still some liability that they have to do some tuning on it, or a warranty period. It may have a construction guy on site, like on a new building. There'll be a construction guy on site doing punch items and so forth, warranty items through the first year. So, but once it's awarded to a vendor or a construction company, they get a notice to proceed, and then it's their project to begin construction. They'll put up a fence and start digging dirt, and at some point we'll have a little groundbreaking ceremony. But other than that, it's off to the races. And so we'll have weekly meetings with us and the architects, and a lot of times we'll have on a big project, the architect will be out there on site pretty much every day, monitoring the progress.
Under references towards the Career Center, because it's the biggest project, but we have a rare view of this. We've been involved since we came in with beginning ideas. And so we know a whole lot, and the public doesn't know a whole lot. And it just seems to me that all through this phase, once you start building, there's bound to be some way of bringing the public in. I don't mean just parents, students, or something, because there are people paying the money. I remember when they were building Energy Stadium, whatever it was called. Before it was finished, they had a big event one Saturday where you walk in and look around. It was a little more than a frame.
Open tour.
Yeah. Yeah, and I just think that, it's a great, you have an opportunity for a great PR.
Yeah.
All through the process. When you have an opening ceremony, or you've got machinery out there digging holes, that's just going a already very good newsletter. who are paying it, boy, there's just nothing like saying, this is where your money's going. And at the end, I would like to see, a really grand opening where the public itself was invited and say, this is where you're going. And you could do it on a smaller scale, like at Kerr, that would be more for the parents, I suppose, in that area, to see what's being done in their areas. But the Career Center, everybody drives by there. It's so visible. People are seeing that sign.
That video that PBK did, we could continue doing things like that also, little vignettes of different areas of the building and focus with that narration over the top of it. This is the entrepreneurship segment of the building.
Yeah, where it tells what disciplines are in one. That's just...
As far as Damon said about the signage too, one thing that PBK tried to keep in mind is that with the two-story building and with that roof the way it is, and the lights coming out from underneath, it is going to be visible from a fair amount of Westheimer over the top of other buildings. So it really is going to stand out. And I think it's going to really...
Well, I was more concerned about the Alief stamp on it than I was seeing the building.
I get it. And I think we talked about neon type signs, like we have on the stadium too. We want to also at the same time keep it in accordance with the other buildings and facilities that are along the Westheimer corridor and West Chase. And right now it has that college/medical building appeal. It's kind of industrial, but at the same time it's got the retail
modern look
bistro facing Westheimer, and we can always add lighting to it too, like that at a later date. It's just for the evening or the dark hours that will stand out like a pinnacle. The thing about the stadium that's not so nice is that people going out the tollway, it's in your face. That's Alief.
I mean, every time I see that sign,
But this, I'm trying to think. There's really not any other buildings with a neon type sign like that I can think of that aren't.
None that we can do in the school.
Yeah.
I wouldn't worry about, this is your job at things like what you're referring to, the illumination and the lighting, and for people who are going to see and know what they're seeing when they drive into Richmond, we're going to take care of that.
Okay.
I mean, we're not, that's what we're saying, whether it's lighting or design something.
I guess that was just my way of saying I'm so proud of Alief. And I mean, literally, every time I see that sign on the side of the stadium, I smile because it looks so good. That green and it's so vibrant. It really warms my heart. So I just want the building to have that same feeling that when I drive past that building or other people drive past that building, they smile the same way that I do.
We did that at Taylor High School. We had a camera on a trailer, and I think we started off, we were going to do a live shot, but I think it ended up being monthly. But that's not very difficult to do, so that's a very good idea.
And Charles, the 4x8 signs that y'all have out there near on Richmond and West Houston Center now are good. But pretty soon you'll have the property all to yourself. And you know how further down there when they were building some apartments, they had bigger signs with what it was going to look like, Because people driving by don't always have the luxury of being able to read all that. It'd be really good, watch us grow or New Career Center or whatever and have a big...
Is the management district kicking in that?
We're going to have, there's going to be fencing, and they're going to be specifically designed fencing around the construction project.
Right.
We can do that anyway, but now it's going to be...
It's a perfect place to advertise.
It's going to be screened fencing with pictures on the screen.
Oh, I know, yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
I mean, that just makes people excited.
And to your point about tours or opening the facility up prior to it becoming open to school, I'm sure we'll have tours. I mean, we can't do it before we take, substantial completion, but once we
you're not gonna miss it. And it's gonna put Alief all over the map. When we talk about Alief being on the map, they're really gonna be on the map now. And people are gonna say, wow, this is really impressive. So I think that what you guys are doing is fantastic.
But here to talk about, I mean, just the excitement of having our kids go all the way and then be able to get into nursing programs. I mean, and all the other fields, and right across the street, and intern right there while they're in school, and go right into a career immediately, and it just, you know, it's homegrown all the way, and then have a launch pad into the rest of the industry. I mean, that doesn't get any better than that, and it's perfect positioning right there.
A few weeks back, I had students from the health career who came to the hospital. Very impressive young group of kids. And I can't wait to work with them. Nobody's going to do that.
Well, I appreciate you guys taking the time. You're kind of the spokespeople for the interim period. If you get questions, you can answer them, and if not, you can point them to that website, and hopefully if you can't answer or something just pops in your mind like this, I forgot about that, send it to myself or Rick or Craig, and we'll get you answers, and we'll update the whole group in that email. Thank you so much. April 28th, that's what I was
Like you'll be able to take about 20 sandwiches home.
One for the rest of the weekend.
Right.
Weekend.
You have a Super Bowl party. A pre-Super Bowl party. Super Bowl party. Right. Y'all have a good one?
Hey, you too, man. You too, David.
Appreciate it.
All right. Careful, man.
All right. Love your path. I appreciate that. That's what we're living for. That's really good stuff. That is good stuff. Thank you. I appreciate it.
I'm there by 6:45. Professor, don't get cold. No, I'm serious. Email me. Don't even call me. I told them call me. No, you can email me because sometimes I'm not in there and I won't get the phone. But email me. But yeah, no, and like Jeff said, we got a brand new system. It does take time to get all the time. Oh yeah, it can get during the well, you can't do it too much during the summer. When it's runaway, we call that a runaway when it's going. It's going 24 hours, 24/7. Oh my God, does it get so cold outside? It's fresh air coming in, yeah, but it should mix. It's just fresh air. It should mix with the air, the heater or the air conditioner. That's all it is. It's just fresh air. It's not actually you're getting cold air. What you're doing is kind of like in a car. I noticed that on my car. There's a button on your car that if you want the air to circulate only the air that's inside, you get But if you get, and then sometimes you're driving along and you smell the skunk in your car, it comes in. Well, you're getting fresh air into your car. So really, you should, to save money on your car, you should keep the outside air away from it and just push the air and circulate that air inside. We can't do it, same way, but we can't do that. By code, we have to bring in fresh air. A lot of our buildings are not, by code, we don't have that fresh air in there. Rules have changed, we've got to bring fresh air in there, but it should be okay. I mean, you should be at code like you're supposed to be, like you say you are. 50 degrees, that's unacceptable. I'm telling you. Absolutely. And sometimes it could be an air handler that got stuck. Each one of those rooms up there's got an air handler where it opens up automatically. It's a little lever that opens up, lets the air out, or it closes down. You know, and sometimes that thing is wide open. It should be wide open. It'll be a malfunction. So that's where Jeff was saying that possibly there's a malfunction or something, so they got to go in there and fix it. It's done by computers. Everything's done by computers. It will shut down and it'll open up. However it is, you know, if it's a cold day, it'll open. I mean, if it's a cold day, heat will be out there. If they want the air conditioner to come down, they'll bring it back down. So it's calibrated. So it's got like a little lever, and it opens up the vent and it closes down the vent. Those are air.
What do you normally say that?
All right, okay. During the winter, 68 to 70. You're in that range. Summertime, 72 to 75 degrees during the summertime. If it goes below, if it's 68 degrees in the summer, wrong, you know, I mean, that's too cold for it, actually, that's too cold. But it's gotta fall in that range. If it falls 65 during the wintertime, that's too low. It should be at least 68, 69, 70, somewhere in there, you know. In the summertime, it should be between 72 and 75. If it's over 75 during the 80 degree or 77, 78, nope, something's wrong. You can call it in. Just email me. I get them all the time. I do. And sometimes they call it a simple fix. Sometimes it could be a simple fix. Or sometimes it could be, hey, I need a part. It's the armature, whatever it is, that's opening and closing that air handler is not working. We have to get a part. But we don't keep parts in stock. It's too expensive. So we need it. Hopefully we can get it within. Sometimes within that day, we get it fixed and get it up. Sometimes I have to wait for the next day to get it. But it shouldn't be cold all the time. None of your kids should be that way. So no, email me, call me, whatever you want to do, that's fine. We'll take care of it. That's take you off. No, yeah, you bet. No, you bet. Absolutely.
I was going to tell you,
We'll have another.
it took about a year to get that done.
You know, he was commenting, he said, you know, before we had it painted on the drywall, right? Yeah. So, he said, well, I guess David wasn't excited about it. I said, well, what happened was that at nighttime, you can't see it. Exactly. And so that's when we went and shipped over to the LED lights there, and now you can see them all night long, and a mile away. Oh, absolutely. I'm the same way. You drive by there, LED by SD, that's a lot of people now. Oh, yeah, that's over there. They drove anytime, right by, never knew what we had. Never knew that was David by SD. And now they do. No problem. Yeah. Hey, how's the teaching going? I love it. There you go, Professor. There you go. You get it. All right, take care. Hey, you have a good one. I can't complain at all. Good. Thank you. You're amazing. Great job, though. That's good to hear. Thank you.
It's poor baby, he's gonna have runny noses.
We all
Thank
walk
you.
around this kitchen.
I know when you were like, they're all cold, I was like,
Thank you. Have a good one.
have a good one.
Great.